using AI to help me remake a video. That's what we're talking about today. Hi, this is Frank Buck, and this is the place to be if you want to get organized and make it look easy. Before we get started, let me ask you a question. Are you on my email list? If not, let's take care of that today. Come over to frankbuck.org. On the homepage, you can sign up right there. I've got two free gifts for you. One's going to get your desk clean. The other's going to take everything you have to do and put it in one digital place. And it's all free. So now on with the show. Last year, I created a video for schools who were planning their next year's school calendars using Google Calendar. Schools typically have the same holidays and activities recurring annually, but the exact dates change each year, making it impossible to set up annual recurring events. For example, Veterans Day, November 11th, well, the school might have their assembly on November 8th one year and November 10th the next year, just depending on how weekends fall. So it's that thing about repeating sort of the same time every year that really throws a monkey wrench in things. So I created a video showing how to create events in a spreadsheet, export them, and import them into Google Calendar. Then next year, all the school had to do was update the dates of those events and then export that spreadsheet to CSV and import into Google Calendar. Saves tons of time. That video became very popular. However, two issues prompted me to remake it. First, the video image quality wasn't satisfactory. And second, a reader left a comment asking an excellent follow-up question that I wish I had addressed in the original video. And here it is. The reader writes, "That was so helpful. Thank you. Question. When I have to add more dates, do I need to make a new sheet every time? Meaning, will the current info that I've already imported on the spreadsheet double up if I add dates to the spreadsheet and re-import it into Google Calendar? Should I delete the dates that have already been imported?" Excellent question. So in other words, what this reader is asking is, if I add more dates to that spreadsheet, and then when I re-import, is it going to duplicate all the things that I created before? So for that reason, I redid the video and it published last week. So I want you to be sure to go and watch that because one, you may have the same need for that kind of thing. If you don't have it, I guarantee you the school where your children attend school probably are going to have this need. And second, I want you to get a feel of what would be involved with having recorded this video a year ago and then having to turn right around and record it again. All the script, all of that stuff to have to recreate. So how can I minimize the work when remaking the videos? That's what I'm going to show you now. I always compose a script first. It simply prevents me from rambling and it gives you the best information in the shortest time. So I wanted to use last year's content as a starting point for the updated video. Did you know that you can download any YouTube video's transcript, whether it's one you make or one someone else makes? Simply click in the video description section and find the little link that says transcript link. Okay, the transcript displays with timestamps for each little line so that you can go really, to any point in the video. That's the point of it. But you can click, there's a little three-dot menu that you can click, and you'll get an option to hide the timestamps. Okay, so that's what I started. I did that, hid the timestamps, then I just highlighted and copied the entire text. But there is one small problem there. The transcript appears as little short lines with not only line breaks between each one, but then there's a separate blank line. So it's very disjointed, very hard to read from. I wanted a much cleaner script without all those breaks. So AI to the rescue. I turned to Chat GPT with this prompt. I'll give you a transcript from a YouTube video. Please eliminate the unnecessary line breaks, break into paragraphs, insert headings and subheadings as appropriate. After pasting the YouTube transcript after that prompt, ChatGPT returned beautifully formatted text. All I needed was to add content addressing the reader's question about adding the new events. And since I hadn't considered this possibility originally, I really didn't know the answer to the question. This time I turned to Google Gemini to help me out. I took the question that had been posed and basically just pasted that question into Google Gemini with a little bit of context, and it returned a beautiful answer. And what I'd like for you to do is come over to the blog post at frankbuck.org and read verbatim the response that Gemini gave me. Learning new tools saves time. A few of us are AI experts. I'm certainly not. We're learning a new tool that will continue to evolve before our eyes. But learning is what we do best, especially when you're my age and you've been learning for as long as I have. When I was in elementary school, our tool was the encyclopedia, and a great deal of time was spent teaching us how to use that tool to find the information that we needed. And then as we got to junior high, it turned more to really learning how to use the card catalog so that entire library became our tool. In high school, I'll never forget the day that our senior English teacher had the entire class meet at a local university library where she introduced us to the Reader's Guide to Periodical Literature. It opened up a whole new vista, and it was the tool at that time. And there was no internet. So it was a series of books, each one that came out a particular year. And whatever subject your term paper was on, you just went from book to book, seeing what had been written about that subject that particular year. We thought it was great. It seems primitive by today's standards. By the way, that tool is still available, only now you can access it on the internet. And then there were the various search tools. There was, oh my gosh, Alta Vista. I can't even begin to think of all of them that were those original search tools on the internet. And then Google came along to be the one search tool that ruled them all. So, we all now know how to use a Google search. There are probably people listening to me today that don't remember not having Google. But today we've got generative AI like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. And there are others, and there are going to continue to be others. So if any of the terms that I read to you are new, back up and jot those down and make it a point to go and check those out. Better tools emerge, and the small time that we invest in learning them saves us so much time in the long run. As you approach a task that seems a little time consuming and repetitive, here's my call to action for you this week. Stop for just a moment and see if maybe you could use one of those tools that I just mentioned to handle that task in a fraction of the time. Think about the CEO of a large company who has staff. We've all seen those on TV. The rich guy that, he didn't have to research anything for himself. He could ask an assistant to do it. He didn't write his own speeches. He had someone to do that for for him. He would just tell the assistant, some overall ideas about what to put in the speech, and the assistant did the labor-intensive work. The boss would look at the speech, suggest certain rewrites. It would be done. He would suggest rewrites on the rewrites. It would be done. And, you know, it was simply turned over to another human being. He described what he wanted, and the task was done. And that's kind of what we have now. We can talk to the tools just like we would talk to another human being. It is amazing. The only difference between that kind of assistant and the human assistant is ChatGPT will never roll its eyes or lose patience with you. If you feel like when it comes to AI, you're at the starting line, that's okay. We're all there together. On your mark, get set, go. Thanks for stopping by today. This has been Frank Buck helping you get organized and make it look easy.